The only thing that will save that boy is Jesus. And that goes for you too. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's crazy how I'm so hyped right now, but just like literally 10 minutes ago, I was on some boo feeling all sad while watching the show, tearing up, trying not to mess up my makeup before I do this review because all this is about to come off. Let me move back a little bit. I know I'm kind of like large and in charge just because I'm using my lens that I normally use for my beauty channel, which is Samore Love TV. That's my main channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the review, y'all. Oh yeah, so Mr. Big D last week, he said, I think Tommy would have definitely killed Dre in that trunk if the guys knew that Dre killed Father Callahan. Callahan was Tommy's friend who he came to for advice after he killed Holly. Yeah, that's true. Yup. That makes a lot of sense. You know that? And Keisha Charmaine, shout out to you, said, I guess she was laughing at me. She was like, Spanky said, hey, too. So I see why you thought his name was A2. His name is 2-Bit. Okay, so that other dude, the one that was like, you know, all ready and stuff, he ready to take out Keisha and all that. So his name is 2-Bit. All right. For some reason, I thought it was A2. I thought I heard him say it more than once, but honey, child. I tell you, it's not like the reality shows. With the reality shows, you be having the names right there in the corner. With these, you kind of either have to hear it or remember, or sometimes I even go as far as to do a Google cache search because I just forget the people in them name. I'm not even kidding with y'all. That's my secret, okay? I'm horrible with names, even doing this stuff. Alright, so Dre went to see Sex, and he's trying to get him to take off the ankle monitor. He tried to, like, you know, shake him up a little bit. He, like, pulled up to the dude's house, you know, but little did he know that Sax wasn't a AUS anymore. He wasn't a federal agent anymore. So, you know, at that point, he could have did whatever he wanted to do. He could have really, like, shook him up. But then again, he was out in public, so it probably wouldn't have been the best idea. But still, at the end of the day, he could have did whatever he wanted to do. But in his mind, this dude was still controlling him. This dude was still, you know, an officer of the law and all that. So he didn't want to do too much. When he called up Ghost didn't even really want anything to do with this dude because now he knows that he has the ankle monitor on. But didn't Dre seem like so angry as well? I mean, I get it. Like, anybody's gonna be angry that people's always following them and it's stopping him from being able to make money the way he wants to make money, you know, illegally and all that. So I get it. But still, like, he just seems so extra angry. So Keisha, I feel like she's like, I don't know, like, I get it, but then I'm a Pisces, so I really get people, and I get, like, both sides, even though, like, I usually want it to be a certain side, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's never really happy, you know, like, it's always gonna be something else. Like, she told the dude she wanted to get out of the hood, so she's out the hood. Now when they talking and he's, you know, feeling happy that he gave her what she wanted, it's kind of like, you hear that? It's silence, you know. She's like, I like it, but she seemed like she didn't like it. But she's like, I have to get used to it. And she's like, you know, with her son, he also has to get used to this whole different situation as well. And on top of that, he's a young black man growing up in a white neighborhood. So that's even more that you have to be mindful of and careful of as well. But I do feel like I get it for the simple fact that I'm a city girl. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though I want bigger and better things, I'm so used to the hustle and bustle of the hood, of the city life. So going up in the suburbs, it would be like fucking like the horror shows. I'll be looking out the window every minute trying to see if I see some man looking in my window, you know? And, you know, Tommy don't be there all the time, so that's a big-ass house in the middle of kind of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, I get both sides, but I do kind of feel like she was sounding a little ungrateful. Like, she was speaking her truth, but she was also sounding just a little bit like one of those people that complains about everything, you know. So snack. He ain't no damn snack for me. Sax. He still be a little bit of a snake. He ends up like he ends up this time around it's a little bit different though because he's trying to keep himself out of jail. So he ends up going to see Tyriq, trying to like get him to talk. And Tyriq is smarter than him, even though he's a kid. He's like, I know it's fucking illegal for you to be here talking to me without my parents present. Should I call them? And he's like, let me go back on my tour. You know, he did like some fake ass tour trying to pretend like he was just interested in finding out more information, I guess, for his fantasy kids. So that was a bust. Then his next move was to try to go see Keisha and see how he can intimidate her into like snitching on Tommy or whatever. But she wasn't having it neither. She was just like, yo, nah, you good. She wasn't giving him any type of play at all. He's trying to tell her, you know, this house was bought on drug money. It's like everybody knows where Keisha lives now. It's crazy. It's like everybody was showing up at her door. It's like, damn, you came out the hood and the hood is coming to you. You know what I mean? One of Tyriq's teachers, he was his social studies teacher, I believe. He was a little off. Like, even when he was giving his presentation, like, he just seemed like he didn't really want to be there. Or he just almost seemed like he wasn't even interested in what he was teaching, you know? So, at the end of class, he, like, tries to talk to Tyriq, asking him what he has on him. And he's like, you know, you can make a killing over here. It's like he was trying to be his friend and say he can make a killing, but then he was also trying to like manhandle him a little bit. Like, oh, let me see what's in your bag. Like trying to be like a teacher, authority figure. So it's like, which one you trying to be? You trying to be like, are you trying to manipulate him or are you actually trying to be a grown up? You know, it's like, at first it was kind of a little shady to me. I didn't really get it. But then later on when Tyriq actually got it better than me. When Tyriq saw his mama and he talked to her about the situation, he brought up a good idea, or a good a good idea, whatever. We want to stick with that. So he was like, yo, it seemed like he told him about the teacher and everything and about how he knew about Troop and how everything went crazy or whatever. And it was all because of drugs and all that, how he got kicked out. So dude was like really doing some extensive background checks on him, which he's already in the school. He's a teacher. There's no reason for him to like do all that extra like, I'm trying to find out about you. You know, it was no reason for that. If the principal let him in, like, it's like, why are you going in on him? Anyway, so Tyriq realizes that the dude, yeah, he went through his book bag and all that, but it seemed like he wants to sell. So later on, Tyriq goes, you know, breaks into his office real quick or his classroom and finds out that this dude was his parents was part of a Ponzi scam. I think he said his father killed himself and his mother died or something along those lines, but they was part of scams. It was scammers. The scammers them there. And they ended up leaving him with a whole bunch of bills, a whole bunch of debt that he can't even really keep up with. He even had a whole ton of bills inside his desk that is like, some of them is like final notice. So it's like he's actually really desperate for money right now. So it actually was more so he was trying to pressure him to see if he's still selling so that he can get on board and kind of, you know, make some money. But the thing is, with people like that, you can't really trust them. Because as soon as shit hits the fan, it's going to be like, well, he's a black kid who's done this before, got kicked out. Like, he knows too much. So, luckily, Tyriq and his mama came up with a better system where he wouldn't know that they were his suppliers and they were kind of like his boss. He just makes the money, takes his cut, and you doing what you do. He even tried to, like, pull up on Tyriq and be like, yo, was that you? Because they put all the stuff in his trunk. Like, was that you that did that? Tyriq's like, what are you talking about? Like, what? He's like, forget about it. So it's like, I'm pretty sure he kind of has a feeling. Because it's like, dude, it was just the other day you ran up on this dude. Now, magically, there is drugs in your car for you to sell. Like, let's put 2 and 2 together. It equals how much? 4. And so, yeah. Kate, she comes over to the big house now. She's caught herself moving in. She jaji bungle them and her bags pretty much just kind of like rolling them in. Like, I'm here. She even had the audacity to put her picture in front of Cash picture like she part of the family now. I mean, technically she is part of the family, but still, you know what I mean? Like, it's doing too much. You already have a house that homie done bought for you. You good, you know? So, Keisha wasn't having it. She's just like, nah, you gotta get up out of here. She's like, you know what? Holly didn't like me either, you know? But Holly betrayed him, and you know what happened to her. And she tried to play like she knew what happened to Holly, but it was also she was getting the information. So at that point, the mom spilled the beans, let her know that she's probably floating in a river somewhere. He killed her with his bare hands, and you know, that was the end of the story. Murder, she wrote. You know, so right there, now Keisha knows kind of what everybody was warning her about the dude, you know, like, he will kill you, or you getting in way over your head. It's like people was trying to tell, even Tasha was trying to tell her, you know, be careful and stuff like that, but she's so like hell-bent on love that she wasn't thinking about none of that. She didn't care about his past. Nah, bitch, where's she at? You know, what happened to you? I want to know everything. I want to know everything that happened so I can know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, did she move? Where she at now? Shit, right? Anyway, so I mean, she still ended up getting kicked out the house, but at least this time around, now Keisha had that information. So Tyriq, he's still a disrespectful little brat. He's calling his daddy ghost. Like, that's just it. I mean, I don't think he's going to call him daddy anymore unless there's people around. He'll probably be respectful enough to call him, you know, not call him ghost in front of everybody. I mean, that would be doing too much. But I feel like by keep on calling him ghost all the time, like, you get that trained in your head. Like, you know, sometimes you won't even realize it and it might just slip out or whatever. But, so he told his parents about Sax coming to visit. Of course, they wasn't pleased about that at all. Ramona came through, and Tyriq, he almost like embarrassed his father real quick because she was saying how he might be running on a campaign and she could run alongside him, like, you know. And then he was like, but don't you have to do background checks? It was like, at that point, Ghost was just like, oh, well, I guess it's time for you to go, right? You know, like, yo, don't be putting all my business out there. Like, I'm trying to hit it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm working progressive slowly towards doing that. What you doing, bro? So anyway, he gives him his little, his tuition check, and then he departs. And she tries to get it nice, talking about well, you know, I feel like regardless of anything, your dad is capable of doing whatever he wants to do. And you are too. You know, giving that beautiful all-American type of speech out there, trying to flatter the kid, getting good with the family so that the transition will be easy, you know? Like, oh, I like her. She flattered me. No, he's not that easy, girl. He's not that easy. He's going to be a freaking handful. I mean, it might be a little bit better for her because, you know, now that Angela has already destroyed the family, you know, it's not like he thinks that the mother and the dad are going to get back together. So it might be a little bit easier now. But anyway, so I knew Bianca had that caliente spice, honey. I mean, so she has like that feel about her, right? Like, she's a lesbian. And when Sax comes to her house, you know, he's like, oh, is that your sister? She's like, no, that's my wife. I'm like, boop, boop. Score for Bianca. Honey was looking cute, too. So, yeah. But he tried to say that he was her friend from work. She's like, Sax, yeah, I heard about you. But it looks like she's like more fluent in, well, she probably fluent in both languages, but you know how Spanish people be doing, pretty much anybody that speaks other languages, once they trying to say something about somebody they don't want the person to know, all of a sudden you see them talking in a next language, like, speak English. I know you speak English. Why are you switching up all of a sudden? Because you don't want me to know what you're talking about. So they actually formed some little alliance because they both want to crack this case. He's trying to get his job back and pretty much stay out of jail as well. So they formed this little alliance to try to nail Tommy Egan. So Bianca, she goes to see Dre, and she talks to him and tries to get more information about everything. But now it's like everybody's playing everybody because he wants her to help him nail Saxe for the way that he treated him and his child, and just kind of manhandle them and played them out. You know what I mean? So he wants that to be taken care of in exchange for some 6ix9ine snitching. Okay? Yo, Dre is not to be trusted at all. Like, Dre is a super snitch. He's the last person I would want to ever see me do some crime with, bro, because dude ain't loyal to nobody. Like, if his daughter grew up, I wonder if he would be loyal to her if she did some shit and it was either him or her. Because this dude, he throw anybody into the fire. Anybody. Oh, you want to go in the fire? Here you go. Like, damn, what you doing? So now, once that happens, he ends up like saying, they end up agreeing, and he ends up telling her that Tyriq was the one that killed Ray Ray. And I'm like, damn, you bringing it way back. Like, you trying to get little homie locked up now? So, yeah, now they got more information. They about to open that up. Man. So now Derek and Ghost, they end up playing out Tate. First I thought it was Derek's playing like by himself, but then I noticed that it was actually him and Ghost that was working together. He ends up slipping the mic man a little bit of money, turn on the mic real quick, because Ghost knew that by him coming, especially coming with Derek, that it would cause Tate to get out of character and say what he really wanted to say, because Tate don't really bite his tongue unless there's cameras in front of him or there's political people in front of him. Then he knows, okay, I have to conduct myself accordingly. But this dude at the end of the day is a hood booger, and he won't say what he want to say when he want to say it, unless, like I said, there's cameras or press in his midst. So he was about to do like a press conference. They turned on the mic real quick, and he said a whole bunch of shit about like people that the public cause public outrage. Shit he shouldn't have been saying. So now, you know, his career is like pretty much done for. I mean, his polls probably done dropped to the floor by now. It looks like this like Ghost Jamie may be trying to take his spot and run. Although he has this criminal past or whatever, well, we shall see. Maybe with Ramona on his side, he'll be able to flip the public opinion, flip all that crap, seal it, and just kind of be out there. I mean, if Trump could do it, so could he, right? So, now Keisha, she gets pulled over while she was driving home with her son. And of course, when they know you have kids, they try to use your kids as leverage. And that's exactly what happened. I like how she showed how they handled the situation when they got pulled over, and she made sure she told her son, like, take your hands out your pocket, make sure, and everything she did, I'm unbuckling my belt. It's sad, but this is what we have to do in today's world. Not even in today's world, but we just have more knowledge now, because this shit's been happening before social media came into play, of course. It's just that it was more so hidden. It was more so they just got away with it type of thing, But now it's causing more and more eyes to be watching. It's causing the cams and all those things to be happening, especially here in New York. Well, especially in other states as well. But I'm just talking about New York and what I know about New York. Anyway, she told him to do all these things, and I like how, she kind of was announcing everything. So it's like, there's no mistake, there's no reason for you to hurt my child. So they take her son, talking about this is social services trying to take her son, and the only way that she'll be able to get him is if she signs something to say that she's going to pretty much snitch on Tommy, because she knows a lot. And she also was giving her false statements, talking about how the deed is in both Tommy and her name. So once they close in on him, they about to take everything from her. They're gonna take the house. They're gonna take, once they can prove that it's bought with drug money, they're gonna take the house, which is true. They're gonna seize the house. They're gonna seize the cars. They're gonna seize everything. But his intent was not the way that she kind of flipped it. So Cash ends up messing up because I hear my phone ringing. So Cash kind of messes up because he ends up telling Tommy that they got pulled over despite his mother telling him, don't tell anybody. Like, I guess he thought she meant anybody, like, outside our house, not our little family that we got going on. So she ends up telling him. And plus, like, earlier in the day when she was when they had a talk with him about the new neighborhood, he did say, if anything happens with any cops, make sure you tell me. Don't do anything. Keep quiet. You talk to me. So that was what he had kind of instilled in his mind. So that's exactly what he did. And his mom, she should have made it clear, like, do not tell Tommy either. But, he didn't think like that. So once he told him that, Tommy caught it in his head like, odd. So when he talks to Keisha, Keisha was being real funny style, like she didn't tell him about that. But Keisha is smart, because Keisha, once he got all upset and everything, he looked like he was about to get in that rage, honey. She ends up like flipping the script and telling him, like, I didn't do anything. I didn't tell him anything at all, but I just didn't want to turn out like Holly. Boom. Got him. He's like, when did you find out about that? I found out yesterday. Your mother told me. But I'm still here. So just him seeing that she didn't run, she's being loyal, that kind of took a place in his heart because he don't have too many people on his side. So that shit right there just kind of made him say, okay, like, she's a real one. She's down for me. Because, at the end of the day, his mother was kind of right in a certain sense because his mother said she has a child and her child is going to always come before you. And that's exactly what happened. They put her child up and she was ready to do what she has to do for a child. So she did mention the fact about the house thing. And he was like, the only reason why I put both of our names in there is because I wanted to make sure that if anything happened, you would still be good. This house is paid off. So you good. And that right there, I think, was an eye-opener for her as well. First of all, his rage, and second of all, his rage, his admittance to actually killing Holly because he didn't say he didn't do it. I know deep down she was probably hoping that he would say, nah, that's not what happened. That's not the story. But he went right along the hell with it, so that's how you know for sure that's the story. And then 3, he just kind of, he paid off everything, so he was pretty much, he's down for you. You know what I mean? So I think that those things kind of made her kind of reconsider everything. So she actually was planning to run with her child, like just be out in the middle, like after she picked him up from school, instead of actually, instead of actually going with the feds and having to snitch and stuff like that, because she already signed that agreement. But I feel like they don't know what you want to say anyway. So it's like, you could say anything. At the end of the day, they just gonna be mad. Like, what they gonna do? They gonna take your child because you didn't give them what they wanted to hear? I mean, yeah, they probably would do some shit like that. But in the real, like, thinking about contracts and all that stuff is like, I'm still giving you some type of information. You're telling me to sign this shit, but you don't even know if I know anything or not. I'm just signing because I want you to let go of my child. And that's it. And that's kind of what she tried to say when Bianca had called her to confirm that they was coming to get her and her son, and she was like, nah, I'll just come to you. But, she kind of wasn't having it. She's like, remember, you signed this shit, so. Shit got real with Sax real quick. Up in his apartment, he was there jerking off himself and, making himself a little happy while watching some lesbian porn. And he was probably thinking about Bianca and her girl. Now that I think about it, that shit probably turned him on to the max. That's why he had to like watch that and think about it. I just thought about that. I wasn't even thinking about it while I was watching it. Anyway, so yeah, he was there like relieving himself, and all of a sudden the two of them come, Ghost and what's his name? Ghost and Tommy, they come in as a dynamic duo. And I'm like, yo, how these people doing this shit in broad daylight? Like, do people not look around? Like, I don't know. It's just, they bold. Anyway, they go in his house. They like, you know, he starts giving a lot of information and shit that what's his name didn't even know about, that Ghost didn't even know about. And he was kind of hitting some chords because he was saying like, yo, how you with him, the same dude that shot your woman, that shot the love of your life, Angela. Like, and, you know, he was just trying to maintain his composure. He's like, you know, I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything, you know, even though in the back of his mind, I know it was kind of, you know, getting to him a little bit. So yeah, they was ready to like take the dude out, but then he said something about how Tyriq had actually had a fake ID, went to go pick up Kanan's ashes, etc., etc. So that kind of sparked some interest in him. And then he's like, you know what? This dude is working on the inside. We can use him as intel to get, to get information and stuff like that. Because now that Ghost saves him, he kind of owes him. So, yeah. That was kind of like the plan. And also to obtain information that they have on Tyriq so that he'd be able to have that. So now the whole Queen's project that was supposed to be for Raina is a done deal, because while Ghost was out there running the streets with Tommy, you know, freaking intimidating people, he was supposed to be going with Tate to do like this fake, oh, we're great people type of press conference thing with all the news people and all them people there. But he ends up showing up super late when everybody's gone. So he was like, you know what? Well, you fuck me over, I fuck you over, and it's been taken away. The grants and everything, it's gone. So that's it. We done. Au revoir. That's it. So yeah. Sorry, shouldn't have been pistol whipping Sacks. Maybe then your daughter's legacy would have still been able to become a legacy and go into fruition. But I'm pretty sure that he has something up his sleeve. I think that he's trying to, once again, like I said, take his spot or something like that. So if that were to happen, he can still do his whole project. So, yeah. Sacks is officially fired. His boss gave him the can because they got the sworn statement, and like I said, everybody's flipping on everybody. So even though the people that think they're alliances or think they're working together, they're not really working together. It's just all a myth. It's all make-believe. It's all fake. It's all phony baloney. And yeah, so Bianca pretty much assisted in him getting fired. Oh no. Sorry, one of my bracelets was broken. It's so weird. So weird. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, Keisha, she's bugging out now. She's ready to run, and Tasha comes banging on the door. Open up, Keisha. I know you're in there. Open up, girl. Open up. And I'm like, well, damn. The neighbor's about to call the police. The way she knocking on the door, so she had to open. She opens, and she already knew that, you know, the whole situation. And then on top of that, she saw the paper signed, which confirmed that she was that she was about to be working with them. So Keisha's just like, yo, don't even worry about it. I'm not going to snitch on you. I'm not going to snitch, because she's worried about Tyriq. That's her whole thing, like, because she knows a lot. She's also an alibi, so she knows a lot. And once she's with the feds, it's like they probably won't get it out of her. So she's like, nah, chill. Like, I'm staying with you until Tommy comes home so we could talk to him. And she was like, yo, just let me go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get cash. Damn, my battery about to die. I'm gonna be out, and that's it. So she's like, nah, yo. Like, we gonna wait. So then Keisha gets the bright idea because she remembers she got that gun. So she about to get the gun. She looks at her bag, which she shouldn't have looked. She should have just went. She looks over. She's like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag, Keisha? Keisha tries to run for it. They tussle, bustle. She got the gun. And I'm like, yo, this type of shit never ends well, like, ever. It never ends well. I'm like, yo, somebody about to get it. And I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see it. But it's like, I still had to look, though, because I wanted to know what's going to happen. So they bustling, tussling. Boom! Somebody gets shot. And I'm just like, damn. I wasn't sure which one it was going to be. But either way, it would have broke my heart because, you know, Tasha's a main character. She's been there since the very, very beginning. And Keisha's pretty much, I feel like she's a main character too because she's been there since, like, the beginning as well. And this is the shit they be saying, like, with these types of, you know, drug games, most times it doesn't end well. It either ends up in prison or it ends up dead. You end up dead or in prison. One of the two. And this is a life that she chose to live, you know? And it just kind of messed up. So, and it's by the hand of your best friend. Like, yo, that shit was fucked up. Because at the end of the day, she still had an opportunity to let the girl live. She got shot, like, right over here somewhere. Like, you know, in her rib area. Maybe it could have even pierced her lung. But she would have still lived if they would have gotten help fast enough. She's like, yo, no. She's like, yo, think about Cash. Please, just think about Cash, my son. And it's like, first she seemed like she was like, you know, it got to her a bit. But then she's like, but what about my son? Like, I feel like the little devil inside just kind of like turned on a little knob, like, on. And then it's like, yo, what about my son? Like, if you snitch, my son is going away. Nah, we ain't doing this. Boom, boom. It's like, yo, really? The boy's father is, I guess, an ex-con, from what they said, and now she's dead. So it's like, damn, he really lost everything. The only person he got now is Tommy, and I doubt, I mean, unless she got other family, I mean, Tommy ain't no father. At the end of the day, I don't know how this gonna work out. He probably gonna end up having to go to the system because they didn't get married. He's not legally his guardian or anything like that. So it's real messed up because now he's gonna be losing two people. And, you know, Tasha, she really, this is what her mother was talking about. She needs Jesus because this shit was uncalled for. Like, at the end of the day, it could have went so different, you know? But that shit right there, that was a hard pill to swallow. Like, it really broke my heart because I was just like, really? That's what we doing, Tasha? Like, you've gone that far into the fucking devil's land that you kill your best friend? I don't know. I guess that's what they talk about when it comes to your children or, you know, anybody else. I mean, you do what you got to do for your kids, but like, damn, that was a tough one. Then, meanwhile, this dude is out here buying a ring for her. Like, he was really ready to settle down, have his real family be official with her son and everything. Like, you know, left early, got flowers, they coming up. He noticed something was wrong. So he's like, nah, son ain't right. He looks in, sees her right there by the door, laid out, blood pouring out her head because she gave a point blank range shot right in her freaking head. Yo, that shit, you know, that crushed him. But now it's kind of almost like an eye for an eye type of thing because I feel like, you know, this dude lost the love of his life. Ghost. So now she ends up losing the love. I mean, he ends up losing the love of his life. Well, as of right now. So I feel like it's kind of like the karma, you know what I mean? It kind of came back to get him. I do feel like he might end up thinking that it might have been ghosts, especially after all the stuff that happened with Sax. And the stuff that Sax was saying, it kind of, you know, brought back some old feelings or whatever. But I don't know. We're going to see how this plays out. But if he finds out it's Tasha, I know he's going to come for Tasha. And Ghost is going to have to protect Tasha because he's not going to let him kill his baby mother too. You know, you're not killing two of my women. Fuck that. You know, forget that. So, I don't know. This is going to be real interesting. But once again, like I said, yo, this shit broke my heart. And thank goodness he looked before, you know, Cash had to come in and see that. That would have been horrible. That's traumatizing. You know, and he was disappointed because he wanted to come in. He had to like think quick and say, "Oh, I'm a surprise her without you. Just wait. I wanna do this real quick." But it sucks, yo. Because I mean, he's gonna know obviously because he's not gonna be able to go in the house. Just crazy, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.